When I set off to drive to Melbourne on Saturday the 27th of August last year, I had no way of knowing it would take 11 weeks for me to return home. My last memory before the accident was waving goodbye at about 10 p.m. to the friends I had been visiting in Melbourne. Forensics later concluded that the other driver had drifted into my lane. It was a head-on collision in a 100-kilometre zone. The results were not pretty. It took SES volunteers 4 hours to cut me out of the wreckage, while ambulance workers kept me alive with blood transfusions. I was flown by helicopter to the Royal Melbourne Hospital, where I went straight into the operating theatre, and I was placed in an induced coma to give my body the best chance of reabsorbing the bleed on my brain. Fortunately, it worked, and a week later I was lifted out of the coma and began the process of trying to absorb what had happened to me. I had no memory of the accident whatsoever, and the hangover effects of the induced coma made it very difficult for me to comprehend what I was being told. I was considered to be in a state of post-traumatic amnesia for 19 days following the accident. I had no memory of the accident and could not grasp why I was being held hostage in a bed with high sides, or why I couldn't just get up and leave. I begged every one of my visitors in the first 2 weeks to help me escape and get home to the Otways. I remained at the Royal Melbourne Hospital until the 8th of September, when I was transferred for rehab to the Epworth Hospital in Richmond, and I begged them to let me be discharged to our local hospice, Anamkara, for a week of the school holidays, so I would be close enough to home to see my 5 children every day. All was arranged, and it was like someone had magically pressed the pause button on the truly awful nightmare I was experiencing. I felt like I was being held hostage in these Melbourne hospitals, physically separated from my children. I had a glorious week at Anamkara, with a steady stream of visits from friends and solid chunks of time, 5 hours each day with my children. It was still too early for me to be independently mobile, but the wonderful nursing staff at Anamkara waited on me, pushing me around in a wheelchair, assisting me to shower and making me lovely gluten-free vegetarian meals. My time at Anamkara enabled me to spend time with the kids each day, while slowly building up my strength and tolerance for a return to the more normal expectations of life in a busy family. I am forever indebted to Anamkara for easing my clamber back home, and I am also very grateful for the foresight and initiative that the Colac Otway community showed by doing the hard yards in envisioning and manifesting this wonderful facility into existence just 5 years ago. How fortunate I was to have my care at Anamkara funded entirely by the Transport Accident Commission, and how very blessed we are as a rural community to have this wonderful alternative to hospital.